to be here in the sanctuary with all of your spiritual family. Thank you so much for being here. How's our energy? Well, I don't know. After the last couple of days of being cooped up in the house, we're probably ready to do some singing. So let's start out. Let's get our energy raised. Let's start out singing. This is the Sanctuary Band, y'all. Give it up for the Sanctuary Band. There you go. Let's all stand together. Let's be thankful for this day. Let's get our groove on. I want to say thank you. Oh, thank you. I'm so grateful. So grateful. I want to say thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
This beautiful day.
This beautiful day.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
This healing day.
This healing day.
Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends.
Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends.
My wonderful friends.
My wonderful friends.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
Wonderful, this beautiful day.
This beautiful day.
I want to say thank you. I'm so grateful. God is my source. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Love is my source. Love is my power. Love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Love gives me everything I need. Peace is my source. Peace is my power. Peace gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Peace gives me everything I need. Joy is my source. Joy is my power. Joy gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Joy gives me everything I need. God gives me everything. God gives me everything I need. One more. God gives me everything I need. One more. God gives me everything I need. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I got up this morning singing,
God is so good.
I got up this morning singing, God is so good. I got up this morning singing, God is so good. My God is so good to me. good down in my soul, yeah.
God is so good.
I'm feeling good down in my soul, yeah. God is so good. I'm feeling good down in my soul, yeah.
God is so good.
My God is so good to me. Every day, in every way.
God is so good.
Hey, every day, in every way.
God is so good.
Every day, in every way. God is so good. My God is so good to me. And in my time of trial, I know
God is so good.
And in my time of trial, I know
God is so good.
And in my time of trial, I know
God is so good.
My God is so good to me. And when my day is over, I know
God is so good.
And when my day is over, I know God is so good. And when my day is over, I know God is so good. My God is so good to me. Every day, in every way.
God is so good.
Every day, in every way.
God is so good.
Every day, in every way.
God is so good.
My God is so, my God is so, my God is so good to me. My God is so good to me. Y'all needed that. Thank you so much. Please be seated. All right, and if there's any kids, you can go to youth department. Thank Miss Crystal, Mr. Ben. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. This is your spiritual community. So when you come together in love, peace, and joy, it just brightens our day, and it sets us up for a really good week to come. So that's why we come together. You know, we come together to be on our spiritual path, to be in community, to love one another, to share with each other, and to build this community. So thank you so much for being here. Hey, people are still coming. Woo! You know what? I did not know what to expect for today. People were like, "Are we going to have service?" And I'm like, "Well, why wouldn't we have a service? You know, why not?" So for most of us, it wasn't as bad as it could have been. So we are happy to be here today. Want to remind everybody that your donations are important to us. The blue vase there in the back is for your paper money, and the PayPal code there is if you want to do a PayPal transaction. Please support this community by using your time, your talents, and your treasures. Your time is spent coming to services and attending classes and events, and you'll hear more about that later. We've got a bunch of stuff coming up. Your talents, everybody has talents that they can bring to the table. We look forward to seeing what you're going to bring to us in 2025. And then your treasures are anything that you want to bring to this community. So thank you for being here. I do believe we have some announcements. Who's going to do announcements today? Hey, Kat, come on up.
Good morning. There we go.
Oh, they're in the back.
Oh, okay.
Ta-da! You're like, I know they're up here somewhere.
Okay. Today is Sunday, January 12th. I turned 33 this week.
Thank you for reminding us, because all of our days are kind of running together. I know
And,
at least one of our executive thought it was Saturday on Friday.
Yeah. And my daughter turns 2 this week, so.
Oh, yay!
All right. Join us for January Happy Classes, your daily dose of feel-good movement, mindfulness, and relaxation with the Happy Class on Thursday, January 16th from 6:30 to 7:30. This class will feature cardio drumming, followed with Reiki relaxation and essential oil treatment. Cost is $20 or pay what you want donation. And please sign up at the front room bulletin board. Okay, Saturday, January 25th, Revive and Reset, a day of reflection, connection, and healing. This event has been created for those of us who have been looking for ways to put the anxiety of 2024 behind us and make way for a peaceful 2025. This is a day-long event and will feature processing circles with a licensed counselor, a sound bath treatment, guided meditations, contemplation stations, and much more. Lunch will be provided. You can join for a half day or the full day. Cost is $30 for half day or $50 for full day. And sign up in the front room and pay in advance with check or PayPal. See Frank for more info. Please join us for an interest meeting on January 31st at 6:30 to explore the possibility of traveling to India at the end of this year. This trip will focus on the spiritual culture of India and include visits to several temples in addition to the Taj Mahal, the Mahatma Gandhi Museum, a rickshaw ride through Old Delhi, and many other amazing events. We hope to be joined on Zoom by Hideo Rathore. Thank you. From Jaipur, India. Come with questions and curiosity. Okay, Sunday, February 2nd, we have our in bulk ceremony following the service, a sacred day of cleansing and blessing. Join us as we start the year with a new vision as we cleanse and bless our personal paths, our spiritual community, and ourselves. If you would like to participate or have a role in this rite, please contact Frank, and you can sign up for the event on the bulletin board. Saturday, February 8th, please join facilitator Lisa Murphy as we take a deep dive into the Hawaiian practice called Ho'oponopono.
Very good.
This process is a practical and deeply spiritual tool for pardoning, forgiveness, and reconciliation. The class will be from 10 to 1, and the suggested cost is whatever donation comes from your heart. All activity or meeting links and contact numbers can be found on the website or the weekly happenings or the Google Calendar, and you can always email the church.
Very good. Thanks, Kat. All right, it's time to sing again. Are you ready? I think we got worked up with those first two, and now let's continue the trend. Let's sing our monthly mantra. The music that this month is all about empowerment and inspiration because it's January, y'all, and we need all we can get, right? So let's stand up and see what we can remember from last week. If you guys want to do some movement to this, on the choruses, you can step into your power. Step into your power. Step on up, okay? It's a TikTok. Or at least Frank will turn it into one. All right, here we go. If you want it, you can have it. All you gotta do is reach out and grab it. If you want it, you can have it. All you gotta do is just reach right out and grab it. Step on up. Step into your power.
Step on up.
Step into your power, child.
Step on up.
Step into your power.
Step on up.
Step into your power, child. Now listen. All you need, you already own. It was given to you on the day that you were born. Anything that your heart can dream, you can make it a reality.
Step on up. Step into your power.
Step on up.
Step into your power, child.
Step on up.
Step into your power.
Step on up.
Step into your power, child. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to fall. It's getting back up that's gonna make you strong. God only made one like you. So come on, people, just do what you were born to do. Step on up. Step into your power.
Step on up.
Step into your power, child. Step on up. Step into your power. Step on up. Step into your power. Step it, y'all. Step on up. Step into your power. Step on up. Step into your power, child.
Step on up.
Step into your power.
Step on up.
Step into your power, child. That's it. Now sit down in your power.
Good morning. Let's begin this portion of our service by taking a deep, centering breath. Today's centering thought is, we are all one with God and one with each other. The law of divine oneness is the law that all other spiritual laws rest on. It is the cornerstone of the laws of the universe and teaches us that we are all connected through the creator of the universe. Everything in the universe is an extension of this source energy, all good and all love, which means that nothing is separate on a spiritual level. It is through this spiritual law that we know that beyond our senses, every thought, action, and event is in some way connected to anything and everything else. As we're all one, the law points to the divinity and power in each of us to change and influence the world with even the smallest gesture. Every choice, word, desire, and belief we have has an impact on our world and on the people surrounding our life. Sometimes this impact is immediate and obvious. At other times, we might never realize the impact we've had. Either way, when we operate through our oneness, we are opening to divine potential in every situation. To put this law into practice, we simply remember that our actions both matter and make a difference. When we exercise compassion and empathy and consciously recognize that ultimately we are all one being, this awareness makes us more powerful to bring change to our lives, our community, and our planet. And now repeat these affirming statements after me. I am one with the Creator and every being on the planet. I am one with the Creator and every being on the planet. My actions matter and make a difference, and I use them for good. My actions matter and make a difference, and I use them for good. When I operate in oneness, I unleash the divine potential in every situation. When I operate in oneness, I unleash the divine potential in every situation. And so it is.
Good morning, everyone. Hello. We're doing things hot. I'm hot, I know. You're hot too, Jackson. In all the best ways. Earlier today, Jackson, we're doing things a little bit differently today, if you can't tell, and we're going to do meditation at the end of the talk. So I want to say just a couple of things about some of the announcements. First off, some of you might have noticed that we did not have a Kaleidoscope footprint announcement this morning. And I just want to make a general statement that often this community, this organization, operates kind of opposite of a lot of traditional churches. A lot of traditional churches see a big bump in income at the end of the year. We tend to see a dip. We are pretty much opposite. So we've put the Footprint fundraiser just on hold. If you've donated to it, as I have, if you have, then know that it's sitting there. It's fine. It's just on hold while we make sure and take care of business. All right, it's about stewardship. So we're trying to do good stewardship. The other thing is India. Are you excited about that? Or what? Let me tell you, even if you thought to yourself, I just can't imagine that I'm ever going to go to India, I wish that you would attend this Zoom meeting. My friend JD from Jaipur is hoping he'll be waking up at 6 o'clock or 5:30 in the morning, Jaipur time, to get on this Zoom call with us. And he's just a special soul on this planet. And so he's my brother, and I know that you will love him as I do. But and at least entertain the possibility that we might be able to make this trip together. The dates we're looking at are like December 30th, 2025, so about 11 months out, almost a year from now, into the beginning of the year, which is, by the way, beautiful spring weather in Jaipur. It's like 70, 72 degrees over there. So, all right, we are talking about the one who is awake. We're starting a series on Buddhism. And so I'm really excited about this. For one thing, of course, India is the birthplace of a lot of spiritual traditions, wisdom traditions. Buddhism is one of them. And Hinduism, Jainism, Sikhism, 4 major world religions come from this, which is why, for me, this is a trip to the Holy Land, right? This is the sacred land that I love to, I just love breathing the air and standing on the dirt. There's something about breathing the air and standing on the dirt, right? So Buddha is one of those people. I mentioned last week that a man came to Buddha shortly after he was enlightened, and he said, are you a god? And Buddha said, no. And he said, what are you? Are you some kind of celestial being? Are you an angel? Or what are you? And Buddha said, I am awake. That's what I am. I am awake. And everything about Buddhism is about our awakening. That's the whole point. The whole point of Buddhism is for us to awaken. Buddha is from the Sanskrit root bud, which means both to wake up and to know. And so when we talk about Buddha, there have been many Buddhas. Everyone who is awake is a Buddha, right? I'm in a room of little Buddhas right now. And even though Buddha himself never wrote anything, we have a lot of sayings attributed to Buddha, or we don't have any of his writings for sure. We have a lot of sayings that, you get on, hey, if Facebook says it's Buddha said it, then Buddha said it. Buddha says, get off of Facebook, right? That's what Buddha says. And so at the first stage of the journey, we kind of accept this. This was my path anyway. The first stage of the journey, I kind of went, oh, Buddha said this. And then about midway through the journey, we grow skeptical. Well, I've learned that Buddha never wrote anything down. Buddha didn't say that. Are you sure Buddha said that? And then as we mature along the journey and we understand how many Buddhas there are, we accept again. Is there truth? Does it serve my awakening? Great, then Buddha said it. The awake one said it. The awakened said it. Because Buddha is not any one person. It is a condition. It's the state of being awake. Many people have experienced it, right? Everything that anyone does that is in service to your enlightenment is done from the Buddha. But there's one dude that we refer to when we say the Buddha. And we want to learn a little bit about him today. He was a prince named Siddhartha Gautama. He lived more than 500 years before Jesus of Nazareth, before Yeshua walked the earth. a precursor in many, many ways. Siddhartha is his given name, his first name, if you will, and it means he who achieves his goal. He who achieves his goal. Gautama is his surname, his family name, and it means the one who has the most light. Right? Like, talk about being named right. It's like the young rocker whose parents named him Johnny Blaze, right? You know what I mean? It's like Axel Foley, whatever. Siddhartha Gautama. He who achieves his goal, the one who has the most light. His father was a king, but there were a lot of kings. Like, every little neighborhood was its own kingdom. He was more like a feudal lord, if you will. But his father was the king of the Shakya clan. So you'll often hear Siddhartha referred to as the Shakyamuni Buddha. And what that is the Buddha who is the sage of the Shakyas, right? The sage of the Shakyas. And so, as a person, this is a little bit of northern India here. I'm a map person. When I was a kid, give me an atlas, I'd be quiet for 3 hours straight, right? I would just let me just look through an atlas. So I just want to give you a little sense of where we're talking about here. Lumbini at the top there, that's where Buddha was born. It's now in the southern part of Nepal, right? Southern Nepal. Although back then, of course, the borders weren't like the borders are now. Down at Kushinagar is where he died. That's in India. Bodh Gaya is where he achieved enlightenment. Sarnath is where he preached his first sermon or gave his first Dharma talk at Sarnath. So when he was born, his father asked his fortune tellers, all the people, the wise people who were advisors to the king, they said, come together. I want you to come together. Look at this child. Isn't it special? Of course, it's the king's child. You go, yeah, special child, special, beautiful baby, special child, right? And so he said, I want you to tell me this child's destiny. Tell me what this child's destiny is. And they came back with conflicting answers. On one hand, they said he could become the king that unifies India, the greatest conqueror India has ever seen, a Chakravartin, or universal king, the king of kings. Greatness, true greatness. That is, if he remains in this world. Or he could become a great renunciate, someone who renounces the world and becomes a world redeemer rather than a world conqueror. We don't know which one, but that's what we're seeing as the vision for him. Well, his father was determined that he was going to be the former. I'm going to make sure that he is the greatest king who has ever lived. And so he went to great lengths to keep his son completely attached to the material world. He put all the best things around him. He built 3 palaces for his son. He provided, as he was growing older and, the hormones were kicking in, he gave him 40,000 dancing girls. I mean, that'll keep you in the world, won't it? 40,000 dancing girls, right? And there were strict orders given to all of the servants that he was to see no ugliness of any kind. Everything. The world is beautiful. Life is perfect. You are immortal. All is well, right? Nothing would interrupt the prince's courtly pleasures. And so Siddhartha grew up in ultimate privilege. I mean, he was the most privileged of all privileged ones. Hold on a minute. I want to make sure. No, okay, I'm still good. He grew up in this ultimate privilege. He was completely shielded from the harsh realities of the world. He ended up marrying a neighboring princess named Yasodhara, and they had a son named Rahula. He had the perfect life. He had everything. What was written about him is that he was beautiful. He was a good-looking man. He was wealthy. He had the beautiful wife. He had the son. He was protected from all badness. His life was beautiful, so much so that when he would travel, these were the king's instructions, a whole team of people would go out in front of him and hide away all ugliness. So that even when he was traveling among his kingdom, he would see no ugliness whatsoever. They would hide away anyone that was sick or old or diseased, and the servants would run ahead and ask all the old, sick people to hide so he wouldn't see them, right? What could possibly go wrong with this plan, right? And so what happened was what we call the legend of the four passing sights. The legend of the four passing sights. You knew something had to sneak by them, right? And so one time he's out riding around and he sees an old man. I mean, old, bent over, losing some teeth, like his hair's all gray and he's just can't, he's an old man. And Siddhartha is, what the heck did I just see? What did I just see? And on that day, he learned the fact of old age, which is a fact that we all face, right? We all age. And then he's out riding around again, and he sees a sick person, someone who is just racked with disease, someone who's broken, right? And so he learns the fact of sickness, that our body is subject to sickness. And on the third journey, he sees a corpse. And he learns the fact of death. Now, this is the foresights, so what could he possibly see that was any worse than death? A monk, right? So on the fourth journey, he encounters a monk with shaved head and a begging bowl, and he learns about the life of withdrawal from the world. And after these realizations, the sheen of his privileged life is starting to fade a little bit. The dancing girls no longer entertain him. The music and the festivals and the celebrations and the sumptuous feasts that are thrown in his honor no longer hold his interest, right? It all seems very superficial. He begins to see these things as distractions, and he realizes that he's completely surrounded by these distractions. Like he's like a fly caught in the spider's web. He's completely caught up in his distractions. Now, have you ever heard the idea that in your dreams, you are all the characters? You know that concept? Where whatever you dream, you are all the characters in your dream. And we often use that idea in literature, especially when we're looking at ancient legends or mythologies, and especially spiritual kind of analogous writings. You are everyone in the story. In the story of Noah's Ark, you are Noah, and you are the skeptical neighbor, and you are the God asking for faith, right? You are everyone, and we see each other. And so in the same kind of way, I want you to think about that today, that in this story, you are everyone. You are the Buddha, you are the father, you are the wife, you are all of these people. And you finally are awake enough, this is a kind of an initial awakening, to say, I'm trapped. I am trapped in my life, right? And so then he determines that he would, as Houston Smith writes, Houston Smith is one of the foremost academics on world religions. And he writes that Siddhartha followed the call of the truth seeker. You know that idea that once you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube, right? Once you learn something, once you see something, you can't unknow it. You can't unsee it. And he had seen these things. He was 29 years old at this point. So one night, at thinking along these lines, he gets up in the middle of the night. He goes to where his wife is sleeping, to where his son is sleeping, and just says a silent goodbye, doesn't even wake them up. I got to tell you, some of these ancient religious people were kind of cads to the people around them, all right? Not necessarily someone we would follow. He just says goodbye, and then he goes to the gatekeeper, and he says, bring my horse, bridle the horse, and the two of them ride away. He and his gatekeeper ride away. They reach the edge of the forest at daybreak, and Siddhartha orders the servant to exchange clothes with him. Siddhartha shaves his head with a knife, which there was no blood, I'm sure. And he just walks off into the forest in search of enlightenment. Can you imagine this servant showing back up at the palace in the prince's clothes with a bloody knife, right? And saying, let me tell you what happened, right? As if anybody, I cannot imagine anyone believing him. So then what ends up happening is that the Buddha goes off. He's gone for 6 years. 6 years he goes. Houston Smith says that we can break this into 3 phases, these 6 years that he spends off trying to find enlightenment, trying to find the truth. Is there a place where old age and sickness and death cannot touch? Is there a part of me that is separate from this world where suffering happens? And so we consider how these three phases too might relate to your own path, because you are every character in this story. And so you're the Buddha's wife who got abandoned. You're the Buddha's father who tried everything you could to direct something a certain way, right? You're the Buddha himself who says, truth above all. I seek truth above all. And so the first phase of his 6 years, he's seeking teachers. Do y'all remember that phase? Seeking teachers. We're looking for teachers. If I could just find someone who has it, right? Somebody asked me just last week, hey, you know what? I've decided I don't want to listen to that guy anymore. Have you got any ideas, any suggestions for me? Well, try this guy for a while, yeah? Or just come on Sunday morning. We'll see if one of us has something interesting to say, right? We seek teachers. We read books. So Siddhartha goes off and he finds two of the foremost Hindu masters of the day, and he spends a lot of time studying Hindu philosophy. Remember, he's a Hindu. Buddha was a Hindu. Jesus was a Jew, right? And so he studies Hindu philosophy, so much so that the Hindus claim him as his own. My friend JD at his place in Jaipur, he's a good Hindu, and he's got a huge statue of Buddha up in his dining room area there, because the Hindus claim him as their own. So he soaked up knowledge. He learned all that the yogis could possibly teach him. We've done that, haven't we? We've read the book. We've gone through the workshop. We've completed the study guide. We've done all the things, right? We've read it. We've gotten up every morning. We've read it. And so then he said, well, I don't feel any more awake. But that time is important, isn't it? It lays the groundwork. It prepares the ground for the awakening. So the next thing he did was he turned to asceticism. So ascetics are these people who, they call them sadhus in India, and you'll still see them. They're people who have completely renounced the world. Holy people who have said they've taken it seriously to completely renounce the world. They own nothing. They walk, a lot of times they'll have, paint on their head or a tilak or something on their forehead. Beard will be long and unkempt. And the ones who've really given up everything walk around naked. My students loved that. They were like, can we take pictures? I'm like, I don't know, ask JD. But so they have nothing, absolutely nothing. And so he joins a group of ascetics. It was said, the legend goes, that Siddhartha ate as few as 6 grains of rice a day. Right? We're talking asceticism. We're talking not having anything to do with the world. The legend goes that he would reach for the skin of his own stomach and grab his spine. Right? And then he would hold his breath as long as he could until it felt like there was a band around his head about to pop. And then right? And he would put himself through these extremes. And ultimately, what the experience taught him, have you ever done this? Have you like, I'm going to wake up at 4 o'clock every morning and meditate for 2 hours. And then by Friday, you're going, that's BS, man. Right? Who had this idea? And so it's the same exact thing that the Buddha did, because he said, you know what, asceticism is not the way, I'm not awakening. And it's not required. He said it's a futile experience. And this brought him one of the most important parts of his teaching, and that is the middle way. If you know anything about Buddhism, you might know about the middle way. And that idea that you follow the path between the extremes of asceticism and the extremes of worldly indulgence on the other side. Find the sweet spot in the middle. And then the third phase that he went through was something called Raja Yoga. Raja Yoga, that's just the king of yogas. It's the ultimate yoga. This is classical yoga, Ashtanga yoga, the 8 limbs of yoga, the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. This is going back to classical yoga. And classical yoga is a pattern for improving your life, right? It includes meditation, it includes the asanas, the postures, it includes breath work, it includes all kinds of we went through those. We've studied those before. And so he gets back and he focuses on concentration, meditation. Let me get back to the heart of the matter. Let me figure out how to silence this and listen to this. Right? Let me meditate on this. After all these years of study, then, one evening he sits down under a tree. He was close. He could feel it. He could feel that it was close. And the tree he sat under was called a peepul tree, Peepul, peepul tree. That's a leaf from the peepul tree. It's also called the sacred fig, or Ficus religiosa. In traditional medicine, by the way, the sacred fig is used to treat about 50 different ailments. Like it's truly a very important tree, native to that part of the world. If you turn that leaf upside down, it kind of resembles a heart. And so people think of that as well. We also know that as the Bodhi tree, right? The Buddha, Siddhartha Gautama, sat down under this Bodhi tree, and he says, I'm not leaving until I get awakened. I'm not leaving until I get it. Bodhi is another word for Bo, awakening, enlightenment, the Bodhi tree. It was said to be the full moon in May, which is known as the flower moon, right? It was under a full moon. And he sat down under this tree. And then what happened? He went through a temptation phase. This is so much like the story of Jesus. It's kind of insane, right? So much like Jesus underwent temptation in the desert before his ministry began, Siddhartha is going to go through this temptation. And this temptation is, for both of these leaders, both of these teachers, it is directly connected to a purifying experience. Jesus has just been baptized by John the Baptist when he goes off into the desert and has his temptation before he begins his ministry. Buddha has his temptation as he's trying to reach enlightenment, reaches enlightenment, and then goes off and engages in his ministry. So 3 temptations, very much aligned. They're very similar, these 3 temptations. It's like, and then they had a R&B career, the 3 temptations. They seem to align with one another in many, many ways. And so maybe, who knows, maybe the Buddha was paving the way for the Christ. But the first temptation they have is the temptation of physical desire. Remember how Jesus is tempted by Satan? Hey, look, why don't you just turn these stones into bread? You're hungry, aren't you? You could eat. Just turn the stones into bread. There's nothing wrong with eating. Nothing wrong with, taking care of your hunger pains. And for Siddhartha, Mara, the Lord of Death, all these different gods in Hinduism are just different incarnations of the same thing. If you said to a Hindu, are there many gods? Yes. Is there one God? Yes. They have no trouble with both of those things being the same, right? So Mara, the Lord of Death, comes in the form of Kama, who is the god of desire. And what does Kama bring to Siddhartha? Beautiful women. Let me parade these beautiful women right in front of you, right? This is the ultimate temptation. Both of them, both Jesus and Buddha, Siddhartha, are being tempted away from focusing on the spiritual to focus back on the material. Yeah, you're going after that spiritual thing, but the truth is you got to eat. How many of us have fought with our own spiritual journey because there's just a material reality we have to take care of? It's constantly coming up, and it's pulling at us saying, you don't have time for that. You've got to take care of this business over here. And so the same thing Jesus and Siddhartha were tempted by. The second temptation was the temptation around the idea of fear or death. Jesus is taken to the top of the temple and told to throw himself down. Surely the angels will catch you, right? God won't let anything happen to you. Just throw yourself down. And for Siddhartha, Mara calls forth an entire army of demons to begin attacking him. Like, I'm going to put you in fear for your life. And the legend says that the arrows and the rocks that they flung at him, when they entered into his space, into his aura, into his meditative energy body, all the rocks and the arrows turned to flower petals. Right? What a beautiful image, isn't it, when we feel like we're being attacked by the world? You know what? If I stay centered in who I am, fling all those rocks, and that's fine. They turn to flower petals in my presence. Right? And so then the third temptation was the temptation of ego. That's what I think it is anyway. Maybe you see these as different areas. Satan says, look, to Jesus, he says, look, I'm going to make you ruler of everything. You want to overthrow the Romans? Done. I mean, why wait for this kingdom of heaven business? I'll make you king of the whole earth. You'll be king forever, right? Just say the word. Wouldn't that be nice? We don't have to go through all this mess. Let's just go ahead and do it. And for Siddhartha, Mara begins to challenge his right to even do what he's doing. What about your duty to your family? Do you even have the right to be on this ground right now? Where are you? What, your son and your wife are over there. How do you think you can reach enlightenment? Who do you think you are? And do you know what Siddhartha does? This is so powerful. The legend says that Siddhartha takes one finger and touches it to the earth. One finger and touches it to the earth. And in that instant, the earth goddess responded with the roar of 100,000 voices, right? The roar of 100,000 tigers. And the earth goddess says, in a roar loud enough to push Mara back, I bear you witness. The earth bore witness to his right. He grounded. How did Buddha reach enlightenment? He grounded. When you come to the Revive and Reset Day, we're going to do a grounding meditation, and we're going to work with this even further, right? Grounding into the earth. This is called the Bhumis Parsha Mudra. The Bhumis with your left hand right here, your right hand with a finger to the earth. It's called the Earth Witness Mudra. I need the earth to bear witness to what I am right now, who I am. And the earth will say, you know what? You are part of the whole. You deserve to be here. You own this plot of land. You have the right. You are my child. This symbolizes, of course, this idea, this mudra with the finger on the earth symbolizes a kind of steadfastness and truth. Even when I'm trying to reach enlightenment, my feet are still on the ground. I'm still connected. I remain grounded and resolute in my spiritual journey. So at some point in the night, Siddhartha found it. He was enlightened. This is the way Houston Smith writes it. He says, his mind pierced at last the bubble of the universe and shattered it to naught. Only, wonder of wonders, to find it miraculously restored with the effulgence of true being. Pierced into the heart of the universe, to find it miraculously restored. Legend says that the pure bliss of this experience kept him rooted to the spot for 7 days. For 7 days he couldn't move. He was just there in bliss. And on the 8th day, he tried to get up, and as he tried to get up, the bliss overtook him again, and he sat back down for 49 days. Right? 49. 7 times 7. How many times should I forgive my neighbor? 7 times 7. 70 times 7. 700 times 7. 7,000 times 777, right? 7 is the number of completion and perfection. We see it all throughout the Bible. We see it throughout a lot of different cultures, and we see it here with Buddhism. 7 can symbolize divine intervention. There are 7 days of the week. It took 7 days to create the world. On the 7th day, he rested. It's a prime number that is the sum of 3 and 4. 3 is a spiritual number. 4 is a material number. 3 is a masculine number. 4 is a feminine number, right? So the enlightened Siddhartha, or the Shakyamuni Buddha, arises to go forth and share what he has learned. He's going to go forth and he's going to start his ministry, but Mara has one more temptation. This is where it differs just a little bit. One more temptation for him. Mara is going to try one more time. This time, Mara completely ignores the temptations of the world and presents a much deeper, more philosophical conundrum for him. And this is basically what he says. How are you possibly going to teach what can only be experienced? I got to tell you, I ask myself that question almost every week. How do I teach what can only be experienced? Why do you even want to bother with the world? You could just slip into nirvana and forget this place. They're not going to get it anyway. This place where people are angry and confused and they're so far removed from spiritual truth that you now know. Just wash your hands of it. Just be done with it. Just enjoy go sit on a mountaintop and chant Om. You've earned the right. You're enlightened. You have had an experience that is definition defying. It is earth shattering. It is mind blowing. How do you even begin to put that into words that anybody can get? You're trying to do something that is absolutely impossible. And besides that, you might look like a fool. So you probably ought to just walk away. Anybody ever had that thought? Right? I mean, like, I don't necessarily go into every environment that I'm in espousing everything I believe. You know what I mean? Right? Because I'm not sure that those folks on the curriculum committee at 9 o'clock on Friday morning is totally going to get oneness. I absolutely know they don't get oneness, as a matter of fact, by the end of that meeting. You could just walk away, and we're tempted by that all the time. At what point do I own, this is what I believe? This is what I've found to be true. This is what rings true for me. This may have been Buddha's greatest temptation because he said, you're right, I can give it up. You're not even asking me to give up my enlightenment. You're just asking me to let go. I'm not going to lose anything. I just don't have to do this ministry part. What was his response? This was the Buddha's response. There will be some who understand. There will be some who will. His response was born of compassion. This is not about me anymore. This is about bringing the whole world an awakening, bringing peace to the whole world. This is born of the oneness that compels us to reach out to each other and help each other and shine a light for each other when the darkness is all around. This is why we do spiritual community. We could all just sit at home and Om. We could. But the truth of the matter is we need each other. We need it. Some days, believe it or not, well, you might have no trouble believing it. Some days I come in here and I need you to shine the light for me. I need you to shine the light for me. Because I've had maybe a dark morning or something's weighing me down. I have to remind myself again and again and again, take it into meditation. Take it into prayer. That thing that's bothering you, remember. Take it in. And sometimes it's a text from Margie or a text from Amy that reminds me. Take it. You know what? You could light a candle about that. You could say a prayer about that. You don't have to fret. You could just take it into prayer. There will be some who will understand. And because of this response, Siddhartha did not abandon others, but instead he embarked on 45 years of ministry that would change the world every bit as much as a Middle Eastern teacher who would come about 500 years later. It could even be said that Siddhartha helped prepare the way for Jesus, that the awakening of the Buddha laid the groundwork for the anointing of the Christ. To be awakened and then to be anointed. That's what we all reach for. So let's go into the temple. I'm going to ask the band to come back up here because we're going to do meditation. And when the meditation is over, they'll go into playing a song. I invite you when they begin singing the song, they'll sing it through 3 times. Just listen the first time if you feel so compelled. But right now, I invite you to go into a meditative space. The first thing I would ask you to do is to move your shoulders. They've been still. Move your shoulders. Move your neck. And then settle into your seat. Just notice your breath. Don't force it to do anything, just follow it. If it feels comfortable, take your left palm and face it up, open, ready to receive. And take your right hand and place it palm down on your right knee. Symbolizing your connection to the earth. Both of these are receiving energy. The earth supports you. You have a strong foundation. And feel the energy coming up through the palm of your right hand. Let it move right up your arm and swirl around your heart. And feel the energy of the divine settling into your left open palm. You might even think of God holding your hand. And all the energy of the universe settling right into your palm, traveling up your arm, swirling around your heart. In the middle way, we let the earth support us and we let the universe support us. We don't run from the material. We work with the material. We bring it into our heart to transform it, to blend it with the divine. This energy in your heart space is a clearing energy, a cleansing energy. To awaken is to know who you are. You are sacredness itself. Honor the places in you that are already awake. Honor the places in you that already know. Let the earth bear witness. Let the heavens bear witness. To the holy essence of you.
As we open our eyes, everybody take a deep clearing breath. I don't know what came to you during that meditation, but my heart is full. I think it's awesome that we get to share this experience together too. So let's roll into gratitude. Pretty easy to do right now, isn't it? And I'll tell you, the first thing that I am grateful for from the week that was are the road crews that worked on our roads. Seems like 24 hours a day for 2 or 3 days straight, right? That we were able to get out when we needed to, and especially be here this morning together. So I'm in gratitude for the road crews all in this area, unless you live on a hill that doesn't get any sunlight, like Kelly does. She has to park her car at the bottom of the hill and then walk up and down the hill to it. But so thank you for being here this morning with all that crap to deal with, right? The other thing that I am grateful for from a spiritual perspective, and Frank and I talked a little bit about this morning, is something that I never really enjoyed in my life. I never really thought about it, kind of poo-pooed the thought of it, is the experience of ritual, of coming together in ritual. I grew up in church, and I never thought of a church service as a ritual. But it is, because we do this thing every week. It's planned in advance. There are participants involved. I guess there could be one person that does the whole service if you wanted to see one person talk and one person sing and one person do the everything. It'd be kind of a boring service, but it happens, I'm sure. But that experience of ritual that we have of coming together in oneness and in harmony, being together in those experiences, I'm realizing how important that is for us, that element of ritual. And as we develop our rituals, that especially the ones that Frank are doing every 6 weeks or so, coming together in that ritual is so important. And in the same way that we have all the elements of participation in the rituals on Sunday mornings, those have elements of participation in those rituals also. So thanks for being a part of the ritual this morning. Think we should put it on Facebook that we're having a ritual on Sunday morning? I don't think we might refer to it as that, but it is what it is, right? Open it up to you guys. What are you thankful for from the week that was? Marge? Mm. Mm. Yeah. Wow, what devastation. Yeah, the first responders in LA are just doing heroic work. We have family in Los Angeles, and they're giving us reports on it, and it's a scary time for all of our friends in LA. Deb? Oh my gosh. What a meditation. Right? Watching the deer play in the snow for an hour and a half. Wow. Sounds like fun to me. Watching kids play in the snow. Got a chance to do that. Also, that was a beautiful meditation. Marcia? I'm just grateful to get out again among people. Well, you could have gone to Walmart. That is a choice. Yes. It's a good cat.
Mine is twofold because I worked at Kroger for a decade, so I'm really grateful for the people that are still doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm grateful that I got out.
That's right. You did your time.
For me volunteering in the snow.
Right. Thankful for the grocery store workers. Vanessa?
I got to build with my daughter her first snowman. We had a little neighbor girl over, so it was a very crooked face, very Charlie Brownish.
Doesn't matter.
Snowman.
Building snowmans with your kids. Wow. What a great experience. Yes, John.
I'm grateful for nature and the elements, and I'm going to go for a meditative walk in the forest behind my house. And the snow is kind of at its peak with my daughter, and just seeing all of that beauty, and having a 4-wheel drive so I can get back and forth.
There you go. Yeah.
But it was just I love the snow. That doesn't bother me at all actually, and it's really cool to see how gorgeous it was.
It was particularly gorgeous snow. Absolutely. Yes.
Can I use this? 'Cause
Sure.
why not? Well, I mean, I'm grateful for my family that I didn't have to be all alone and bored over this weekend, that we just did not leave the house at all, but also it had a way of making me feel very abundant because I've read a lot of old books, and so I was like, I'm really grateful that I have a heater. My freezer was full of food. I was looking at all the frozen chicken nuggets and tater tots we had. I was like, this is all the food that I get to eat this week. I am not starving. Sit inside with a candle, thinking about the olden days. I'm like, I have a roof over my head, and that makes me feel really happy.
Yeah, that's true. We have the basics. We have all we need, right? We just sang in Step Into Your Power. All you need, you already own. It was given to you on the day that you were born. That's right. That's right. So let's step into our power. Yes? I'm grateful for that. Aww.
I'm so cool.
This whole weekend was really special in general. My family's going through some
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. It is time to, we do have time to spend with family and our kids, and that's an amazing experience. Anybody, anything else? All right, well, let's sing about our gratitude. I am grateful for another day of living. I'm grateful for a new chance to forgive. I'm grateful to receive life's many blessings, and I'm grateful for the love I have to give. I am grateful for another day of living. I am grateful for a new chance to forgive. I'm grateful to receive life's many blessings, and I'm grateful for the love I have to give. Yes, I'm grateful for the love I have to give. We are a grateful bunch. All right, remind everybody to check your what's happening. If you're going to come to any events, please sign up in the front room. And let's all stand up and say the prayer for protection as we prepare to leave and take on the week. Together, the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. So much, everybody. Have a great Sunday. Have a great next week, and we'll see you next Sunday. Be blessed.